in my journey, I've noticed, and just growing up nowadays, that if you're a shy dude, you can still get away with a lot of things and be very successful. Because we know with online business, it's a very lonely journey. Specifically in my scenario, like the very first thing I took really, really seriously was day trading, right? And if you think about it, day trading, drop shipping, clothing brand, pretty much, marketing agencies, all these businesses, they're all really the same. They're all online, and so you're heavily isolated, bro. Like it's literally just you and the laptop, you and your business, and that's how it was for me for years. And the problem with this is you become a very shy person. You become a very antisocial like person. But the other problem is that you can get away with this, right? Because we understand that you can make as much money as you really want in online business. Like there is no cap to how much money you can make online. And so in a way, you have a way to cope being shy, and like this is almost your way out of being a shy dude, because you can be so successful. And in my journey, again, what it consisted of, bro, is like when I was living with my parents, when I was living with my grandparents, like, dude, at the end of the day, it's just me, my laptop, and in my room. You're still living, when I was still living with my parents in specific, like, yeah, you still have your family around, but when you're working and you're just locked in and you go to work, like, it's just you, bro. And then specifically when I was living with my grandparents, like I was living in the basement, and living in a basement's like a whole kind of different thing, because it's almost like you have your own place. And so that is even more lonely. And actually, when I was living with my parents, I had a basement as well. And so my entire journey was just me being alone all the fucking time, like all the time. And what this did, bro, is it developed me for sure. And, it gives you a lot to think about, and a lot to reflect on, and, all of these great things. But at the same time, it makes you, again, very shy, very antisocial, very different, is the best way I can put this, right? On top of this, in my journey, bro, when I was locked in, again, it was just, wake up, work, if I had a job, or if I was already doing my stuff full time, and then the gym, and then more work, more work, more work, and then sleep and repeat. The only really social interaction you had was, or I had, was going to grab some food or some shit. But even then, it's not really like a social interaction. Maybe at the gym, but even then, like when you don't talk to anybody, you don't know anybody, right? And so what I'm getting at with these things is just like, it's so easy to be like an antisocial and shy dude nowadays, but it's not what you want to be at all. If I didn't say this already, like there was a period, and I talk about this all the time on my channel, where I didn't talk to any girls for like 2 to 3 years. Like I just went under, bro. And I don't really think it was that beneficial, but it helped me stay locked in. But again, what did that do? It made me a really, really shy dude to an extent, right? And especially the other thing I want to talk about is, on top of all of that, okay, us younger dudes and dudes that are in online business also understand that nowadays you have like dating apps. And we understand that in dating apps, you can still get, plenty of girls through the internet without having to walk up to girls, without having to cold approach, right? And ask girls for their numbers and tell girls that they're beautiful, and they're attractive, all these things. And so you have an easy way out with being antisocial and being a shy dude. Because again, same with online business and the internet. It's like, dude, you can go and have or organize events and meet up with other like-minded dudes through the internet, and then you kind of set that all up so you never really have to put yourself out there in the real world. Like online business is so different to like a brick and mortar business, where you have to go interact with people, you have to have employees, where most of the time online business is just you and your laptop, as I mentioned. And so what am I getting at with all this, bro? It's like, guys, you have to understand that these things are great, and these are great tools for us to utilize. But at the end of the day, everything I just explained are in a way coping mechanisms, and in a way the easy way outs in being a shy dude, because they're so beneficial, but it's like the easy way, and the less like you don't have to be that outgoing and put yourself out there in finding those ways to, again, get girls, find like-minded individuals, and make a fuck ton of money, which is great. Like, it's great, right? But what does this do in the real world now, bro, when it comes to, again, women? Like, do you think that you are going to just be able to walk up to girls and ask them for their numbers if, again, you've just figured out that you can do this all online? Like, no, you won't, and that's a bad thing. Don't listen. I've been there where I'm like, oh no, I don't walk up to girls. I get them online. Like, that's my way. Like, no, you're being a pussy. I was being a pussy when I used to say that. Like, there's a saying, guys. It says, closed mouths don't get fed. And as a shy dude, what are you usually? You're a closed mouth dude. Like, you're not putting yourself out there. Again, you're not walking up to people. You're not introducing yourself. You're not engaging in conversation. You're shy because you're just used to being alone, like I was. And so, again, you don't put yourself out there. As simple as it is, and it's a bad thing. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not a great thing. Even though you found other ways to go about life, and great ways, easier ways, understand that there's certain skills and certain things that you want to get really good at, and swinging the pendulum from being a shy dude to being a very confident, outgoing, and masculine dude is one of the best pendulums I've ever swung in my life, okay? Number one, the first thing is the girls, obviously, bro. Like, being able to just walk up to women that you find attractive and tell them that they're beautiful and ask for their numbers, and interact with the opposite sex and having sexual relationships is number one, the best skill, because this will help you get better at talking to girls, hanging around girls, approaching girls, and all those things. This will make you more confident, and develop those skills, right? And then on top of that, like, bro, in a way, I don't want to sit here and say, you need to go and pitch your business ideas to other men, or, like, introduce yourself, because you don't have to, right? You can do that online and find masterminds, seminars, events. But the thing is, in understanding that closed mouths don't get fed, bro, like, you in the real world not being able to be confident and be masculine, and again, like, there is so much negative to being shy, because in a way when you're shy, you are just this, I think of this negative ball in a way, and instead of walking and talking with your head high, held high, and your chest upright, and giving off this fucking magnetic personality, you're the exact opposite of that. And the way you combat that, again, is by looking for these outs, because they're so easy ways and they're beneficial, but understanding that those things are exactly that. They're the easy ways out, even though they're, this is so funny, because you can make as much money as you want online. You can find like-minded individuals, and you can still get women online. And then it's not a cold approach; it's already warm, because you've matched with them online, and it's not weird like I used to say. It's like you just have this bias to going online and not having to do anything in the real world, and there's so many reasons for you to justify that. But I promise you, when you really start to swing everything to now this side, and you have to do things physically and develop those skills, and now you walk and talk like this again, there is so much more benefit to being that guy that, again, is able to walk up to girls, that's able to introduce himself, without being at a seminar or at a mastermind or whatever the fuck, and being able to propose his ideas or collaborate or whatever it is in life. Like, bro, there are certain skills I can tell you right now that you won't learn from online business, from Tinder or Hinge, the dating apps, from essentially everything online. And you have to understand that. Okay? The reason I'm making this video today is because I heard this thing online that said, like, being a shy dude, you're gonna be lonely, you won't make a lot of money, and essentially, like, closed mouths don't get fed. But that's completely wrong. Because being a shy dude in a way almost gives you an advantage to an extent until it doesn't anymore. And that extent is exactly that. Like, being shy can, in a way, help you make way more money because, again, now you figured out, like, I don't like people. I don't like putting myself out there. Uh, and so then you've looked for these ways to do it online, and obviously making money online comes with a lot more benefits, and getting girls, you know, they're warm, whatever. But again, understand the extent to being shy and the extent to uh, being a guy that's just consistently been by himself. And believe me, I've been there. Again, like, there was a period of 3 fucking years where I was just by myself all the time, going through at least what I would call, you know, I don't know if yeah, like the hardest times in my life. Because again, you're just by yourself and you're going through the journey, bro. You're broke. And for me, like, when I have no money, my head ain't straight. When I got no money, I don't want no bitches, bro. Like, I always said, if my bread ain't straight, nothing is straight with me. Um, and so again, like, that could have came from me being shy and not putting myself out there, right? Because I was too scared to walk up to girls. I was too scared to engage in conversations with other dudes that I didn't really know. And all these things, like, develop those real world skills that you can only develop in the real world and not online. So boys, hopefully you took some value from this video on just understanding what it is to be a shy guy, and why, yes, there are pros, but understanding the cons, and how the cons in a way are going to outweigh to an extent the pros. And maybe they won't outweigh them, but understand that there are, yes, majority, you know, there's beautiful reasons as to being a shy dude in the beginning. But understand as well the cons is there's really only certain skills that you can learn from no longer being a shy guy, okay? And really putting yourself out there in the real world. And all these things. And those lessons you're gonna have to learn on your own. There's nothing that I can really say that will help you learn real world skills. The only way you're gonna learn those real world skills is by going in the real world and putting yourself in those situations. But I just want you to understand what it is to be a shy guy, why it is beneficial, why it is not beneficial. The title of this video is probably going to be why you can't be shy, or, you know, something along those lines, to help you understand the other side. Because again, in my journey, in a lot of your guys' journey, if you're watching this kind of content, you can understand that it's very easy to be antisocial. It's very easy to be a shy dude nowadays, because you can do everything online. It's no longer like all these old heads say, or all these dudes that have no experience in online business. Like, I would even argue to an extent, bro, that everything online is almost better, right? Because you can make way more money, you can get way hotter women, and you can DM them without, because you already know to an extent who they are, what they look like, and you get to choose. Uh, and then, in a way, you as well can network with the most like-minded people in the exact industry you want to, in the exact seminars, in the exact events. Um, And in real world, you know, if you wanted to walk up to a girl, you only really know what she looks like. You don't know anything else about her, but that's kind of the beauty of it. Um, and all these other, like, real world skills, again, it's like you just have to understand the importance of not being a shy dude, okay? Because now that you've gotten so accustomed to being able to just do things at the click of a button, you still have to understand there's a whole physical, real world that we live in. And there are skills that you have to learn how to develop. You can't learn to shake somebody's fucking hand like a man online. you can't learn how to shake his hand and look him in the eyes from making a lot of money online and all these things. And then you can say, because this is just the other side of my brain thing, because I've done this for so long, is like, who gives a fuck if you can? You know what I mean? Because you've made all this money and stuff, but understand it's still very important to be a businessman and be an outgoing man in real life. And so yes, those things do matter, how you carry yourself, how you walk, how you talk, and those will only happen in being in the real world and putting yourself out there again, becoming confident, charismatic, all these great traits. And so just understand that the internet and being shy is a huge fucking blessing, but it can also be a curse if it's the only thing that you really feed into and looking to opting out of or opting into, right? Because I was the same way, right? I used to say like, oh, I'm not gonna, I don't like approaching girls, or I was too scared to go up to girls because I could just do it online. It's like, no, I'm being a bitch. That's what it is. I'm justifying and using the internet as a way out and using online as a way out because I won't do it in the real world because I'm too shy. I haven't became a confident, outgoing, magnetic kind of personality guy yet to do those things. And it wasn't until, again, I shut this side off in the real world and started doing all these things in the real world to then be able to develop those skills. So guys, hopefully you just understand the importance of not being a shy dude, okay? Because it's very easy to fall into. Hopefully I didn't go into too many circles in this video. But boys, as always, hopefully you took some value. Hopefully you understand the pros and the cons. As always, I love you guys, and I'll see you boys in the next video.